mean, you think about it legally. If I would have taken money from her, it would have been classified as bribery and a felony. So I'm trying to figure out how everything works, because I still want to advertise. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of people that say that jingle. I still advertise. I still think it's worth money. Their company originally thought it was worth money in the first place. But I can't have people who participate in the trafficking of children or having sex in the presence of kids that aren't even old enough to go to kindergarten, because if you pay attention, it's classified as bribery. It's a felony, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, it's crazy how people will just go to great lengths to just try to destroy your life and your reputation and put you into all these bad situations, and I'm just so sorry for everything that you've been through.
More importantly, I mean, you think about you think about other people.
Yeah.
It doesn't just affect me, it affects a large community of people.
It does. And like I said, it's unbelievable what the human race will do to another human. Like, if we just took the time to just work together with everybody around the planet, we could probably have some sort of world peace by now.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't understand how that is a thing. And I you think about Hollywood and actors, and they talk about how seedy things are, and I totally understand that now. Like, when people realized who I was and the information I had, people reach out and offer you money and things like that, but they do it like, this is the acceptable thing to do when there's children involved, money and sex with minors, and that's not like you've been following me for a long time. I had lots and lots of followers when the lady from Grocery Outlet Bargain Market, Sonia, or whatever her name is, showed up in lingerie to have sex in the presence of it was like a 3 or 4 year old child.
That's just so fucked up.
And then she leaves with the child, and then have people harassing me and telling me, where did the kid go? What did you do? And I'm like, she's supposed to give it to the fucking authorities. The parents should have the child immediately. I didn't, all kinds of blackmail and shit going on. And
so, do you think they were trying to set you up?
No. I really think that there's just men and women in this world that believe you can use children as payment. You won't take money? Can I offer you a 4-year-old little girl, a 4-year-old little boy? You won't take money?
I'm pretty sure that runs rampant once you get up into the, the higher status millionaires. I'm sure that it's just all over the place, and just of what we know on the surface, it's just the very surface of all that's going on.
Scratching the top, but I mean, you think about companies that are ran by people that are the Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. They pick people to run their stores that are supposed to represent the company. All right, so these people that reached out, they represent the entire chain of Grocery Outlet Bargain Market, and their representation is for advertising. For payment, we try to include sex with children, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I freak out every time. Every place that I've been to, I don't understand how that's a thing. I don't understand how that's a thing. Like you ask, like, are you you're Jewish, you're Christian, you're Muslim, you're religious? Oh yeah, like this Christianity is you're a married woman showing up in lingerie to have sex in the presence of a child. Is that part of your religion?
I don't think it's part of
it. You're representing Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. You're representing whatever religion you state you're from. So all of these people who state they're Christians are representing the body of Christ, providing children for adult men to have sex with as a representation of Christianity. That's crazy, especially because I do a lot of that. All of the light. It's like Judaism and Islam and Buddhism and Hinduism. A lot of those cultures pay attention to me. You know what I mean? You pay attention to me, right?
A lot of people do, man. You're very, very cool.
Right. So you guys are paying attention to me. What kind of morals And just what kind of morals does that show for Grocery Outlet Bargain Market as a whole, their company, their chain?
Yeah, it just shows that they're not good, that they're bad people and they have bad values.
Right, and I look at that like before I was involved with the one up here, it was never anything like that. So I did advertising for Grocery Outlet Bargain Market in Grace Harbor, Ocean Shores, actually Aberdeen, Bonnie Lake, Tacoma, all over. I did advertising for Grocery Outlet. I never came across that with Grocery Outlet Bargain Market, and then they're like this. We love the advertising. Thanks a lot. They give me I get my vitamins there for like 50 cents when they're like $12 and stuff. It's really cool. I'm bringing customers. And then when it turned into, well, this might be some corporate sponsorship or representing the entire chain. Well, now we're not going to give you vitamins for 50 cents that are $12. We're not going to give you steaks that are worth $20 for $1. We're going to offer you children and some money, or you know what I mean. We're going to do that, and it left a really bad taste in my mouth. And I have autism. I will repeat this information until I have new information from Grocery Outlet Bargain Market to give out, if that makes sense. But somebody on the, do you have ASD, autism spectrum disorder? Yes, I do. Part of autism spectrum disorder is a very repetitive, rigid sequence. So whatever you do, and show me who you are. It doesn't matter what you do later on to cover it up. I'm still going to go off of what you originally did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's a good way to
offering somebody money after you showed up to have in laundry to have sex in the presence of a child. That's a bribery. It goes from we're not are they offering money for advertising for Grocery Outlet Bargain Market, or were they offering me hush money?
Hush money.
Right, because before, when there was no children involved, I got vitamins for 50 cents. I got steaks for $1. I got my groceries. I got the groceries for like $10.
Wow.
Then when there was children involved, then we're going to offer you a lot of money. Now that there's children, I look at it and go, well, legally, it kind of looks like bribery and a felony.
It does.
Legally, it looks like bribery and a felony.
Do you think that they would try to sue you for the things that you're saying?
No, they can't. It's real. They can, but are you going to take? Now, you're going to take somebody to court? I have autism. I have a military background. I have a background check for doing this job. So my background check, you take me to court. The judge has paperwork that says, yeah, Martin is approved by the federal government, many other countries and religions, to take care of sexually exploited women and children. That's his job, and that was his job for 20 years. So you're going to take me to court in front of a judge. The judge is going to have to look at my background and go, okay, his job is to take care of women and children. That was his job. This is what he does. And now we have a company that had a woman show up in lingerie when he had a child. So there could be fornication, or, things could take place. And after that, and I'm only talking about the last public child, but, after children were involved, money was offered. But only after children were involved.
Yeah, so that definitely was hush money.
After her sexual favors were turned away. Like I told her, I got a wife. It doesn't matter what you look like. I'm fucking married, and there's children. Yeah. You can take one child. There's 4 other ones here. The other 4 will stay.
Oh wow!
But it does look like hush money.
That's really what it sounds like, Martin.
Yeah, and I did Helly Hansen. When I met Helly Hansen, when they got bought and we switched over and things like that, they paid to sexually exploit somebody.
Really?
Yes.
They did it too?
Yeah. It's like something. And you think about Hollywood, famous people. That's the go-to thing for corporations. Their management paid to have sex with sex slaves. And when me and my wife showed up or whatever, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You're so openly paying people so that you can have sex with people against their will. You don't think somebody is going to catch on?
Right.
And then it's fucking crazy. Then me and my wife being brutally tortured by somebody. We get away, and then my wife gets a job at a restaurant, and the person who's doing the torturing and the raping for Helly Hansen fucking shows up and makes us go back to Helly Hansen.
Holy shit.
We have children that are missing, taken from our presence. And if you don't go back to represent these companies, we will murder your fucking kids. You don't know where they are. You don't know what happened. You don't know what's going on. We will murder your fucking children. And you're just like, yeah, you're like, what is going on? Like,
what?
How far does this pedo ring in my area go?
Holy shit, man.
How big is the reach of these men who like to fuck children? My neighbor Jerry, murdering people for years to protect the fact that he likes to have sex with children. He actually, making sure some of the rape victims that have children can stay in his life so he can relive those horrible events. I mean, it's just you think, you go like, where the FBI, the military, they're the men that. There's women and children that speak about this. It's common knowledge. And the FBI and the police are just like, we're the fucking customer of the children. We're paying to have sex with these children. I mean, if you're not a customer, then you're the police doing the arresting, right?
Oh my god. You just blew my mind, Martin.
You think about it, if you're not the customer, you're the authority busting the Johns, right? You're busting the bad guys. But when you're publicly seen by women and children helping the bad guys get away, that just means you are one of the customers. As a Pierce County sheriff, we let women and children watch a Pierce County sheriff's officer rape people. Show up to situations as the good guy, and then there's nobody looking. Let me participate in rape as well. Let me participate in kidnapping women as well. A Pierce County sheriff kidnapping women, kidnapping children so that they can have sex with them. Where's the fucking FBI? Where the fuck are they? Where the fuck is the military? Where's the authority? Right? You think the body of Christ, right? The body of Christianity in Pierce County, Washington, Westmore Homeowners Association, just a bunch of rapists, a bunch of serial killers. Where's the authority? Right? Are you guys seeing the authority actually arrest these guys and prosecute them? Or they're getting money, right? They're getting advertising. They're getting paid for there's an incentive, right? If you think about the Pierce County sheriffs, right? If you help kill the good cops, set you up with money. Yeah. If you help murder the good cops, that's fucking crazy. The era of tech, the wolfhounds from the Rangers. If you help us kill some officers, you help us kill the guys that are coming to save these sex-trafficked women and children, we'll give you money. We'll set you up with a business.
So who you can't actually disclose that, but were you working for an organization, like a public organization or a private organization to help the victims?
Well, public and private. I do both. I did both. Okay. So I did private I shouldn't say private. It was a public, but I did it privately, like off the books.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say on the books, but just not in the public eye. You come to my house. You get up in the middle of the night and you shower in the middle of the night while everybody is asleep. Nobody knows you're here. And then I got good. I got really good at it. Getting people out and things, because the police would show up. I had a lot of things happening with my neighbors in my community, with rape and murder and shit like that. And I was able to get the kids out no matter what. So then it switched over to public, to public. But you think about, all of the children who were able to escape publicly, right? And you think about, and I'm not to be rude, but you turn on the light and you see one cockroach. Mm-hmm. That means there's hundreds of cockroaches, right? So, right, you turn on the light in my house, and you shine a light on my house when people are being beaten, raped, and their children are threatened to be murdered, and you go, oh crap. there's over a dozen children escaping and being saved from being sex trafficked. You have to question yourself. How many do you not know of?
Yeah, I know. Like you were saying, it's just you're just barely getting to know any of that is happening, and the government does, and all these military organizations, they just pay off people, and that's why you don't hear about it that much. Is because they're multi-million to multi-billion-dollar companies that can just say, "Oh, here's X amount of money. Don't tell anybody about this," and that's why it stays so much.
I don't think they're not offering money. They're offering children. I did international foster care for South America, the Middle East, and Africa. So Afghanistan, Iraq, Kuwait, Brazil, Colombia, Chile, all those places, in Africa. Those children got to watch the military drug, beat, and offer women and children for sex slaves. They got to document that and take it back to their home country so they can tell everybody in their home country, if you see an airborne ranger, they're here to rape your women, rape your sons, and kill your family. You don't believe me? Here's a picture. Here's some videos. Here's some audio. Can you imagine a child in my walls recording the military just brutally fucking torture and rape people? And then go take that information back to Afghanistan. Take it back to South America. Take it back to... And well, then they're like, we don't know why these men want to kill us. Like, really? Like, you really? You guys are... the level of thought, thinking, a thought process. If I allow you to document the military raping and pillaging in uniform, representing all the American branches, so that you can take that back to Afghanistan, I, as Tech Nasty, doing that shit and creating the terrorists and the recruits needed to kill the rest of the Americans getting sent overseas. Why are they killing Americans? Because Americans are teaching them to kill Americans. We have active duty soldiers who don't get deployed, training people who are overseas to kill the American soldiers who do get deployed. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know this is off topic, but do you feel like, well, I guess it's not really, but do you feel like both of the presidents right now that are running, do you think either of them are good candidates, or do you really not care?
I don't. I say, when you're assessing the people who are sitting in Congress or who you want to sit in Congress, do they have the basic intelligence to understand basic science? Because if they can't understand basic science, it allows a foreign country to manipulate our Congress' lack of intelligence, lack of education.
Yeah. Let me see. Well, honestly, man, I don't really have too much to talk about. I'm not very interesting, but I do appreciate you letting me on the live. I've been wanting to be on here for a while and just to spread some positive vibes to everybody.
No, so, I appreciate you coming back on again. Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to remember or not, but I remember the last time. I do appreciate your support.
Well, much love, everybody, and I'll see you guys later.
God bless. Thank you for